What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing well and happy 2022. So last week I was minding my own business. You know, it was the week between Christmas and New Year's when you're kind of hoping not a whole lot is going to happen. You don't really do a whole lot of work. And all of a sudden, you all started blowing up my emails, blowing up my comments, asking me what the heck is the No Surprises Act? The No Surprises what? And I legitimately had not heard about the No Surprises Act or good faith estimates until you pointed it out to me, and I proceeded to freak out. Who wouldn't freak out? There's new legislation that's taking effect at the turn of the new year, and I had literally just a few days to try to figure it out. And then I said to myself, not to worry, Marie, you just do what you normally do a little bit of research and figure out what it is, implement it in the new year. But several hours into doing as much research as I could, I still couldn't seem to figure out how exactly I was supposed to implement the No Surprises Act in my practice, let alone teach you all how to do it in your practices. At face value, this legislation is super confusing, and I wish there were a handy dandy guidebook to help us implement it, and at least as of right now, there's not. So I figured it would be helpful to synthesize the No Surprises Act for you in this video and teach you how to implement it in your practice. So if you're interested in learning about that, then stay tuned. Welcome to Private Practice Skills. I'm Dr. Marie Fang, psychologist in private practice. I post videos offering tools I learned the hard way about starting and growing private practice so that you don't have to. And the No Surprises Act was a surprise to me, so let me help teach you about that one. Now, before we dive into the content of this video, I do need to give a disclaimer that I am no expert at all on the No Surprises Act. I'm just synthesizing information that's available to all of us out there. The content of this video does not constitute legal advice, so be sure to consult with your lawyer and educate yourself with resources outside of this video. But even though I'm not an expert, it still feels really important to make this video because, let's be honest, the No Surprises Act is freaking confusing. I mean, at least to me. In the midst of my somewhat panicked, freaked out state trying to figure out what the No Surprises Act is about, I was so relieved to find that Ken Clark of Semi-Private Practice released a webinar with his healthcare attorney, Jennifer Smith, covering all the details you could ever need to know about the No Surprises Act. It was an incredibly helpful webinar, and it was super affordable. So if anything is confusing to you in this video, I encourage you to go over and check out that webinar. I've linked to it below. All right, that's plenty of prefacing for now. Let's dive into an overview of what the No Surprises Act is. So the No Surprises Act was actually passed way back in December 2020, as in a little over a year before I'm recording this video. But it took a little while for the legislation of it to be smoothed out, and as a matter of fact, you'll see later in this video, there's some aspects of it that haven't yet been written into legislation, so here we are just trying to figure it out as we go. According to the CMS website, the intent of the No Surprises Act is to help minimize surprise medical bills. Now, I'm all about minimizing surprise medical health bills. Yes, according to the HHS website, quote, more than half of US consumers report having received an unexpectedly large bill after receiving medical care. I've experienced a surprise medical bill myself. Back in 2009, I had to have my appendix removed. I applied my insurance. It was supposed to be a couple of $1,000s for the whole hospital stay. And, you know, fast forward a couple of months later, and I'm slapped with a $13,000 bill in the mail. $13,000, that's like 10 times higher than I thought I was gonna pay, more than 10 times higher. Now, what's happening here with these surprise medical bills, like the one that I just described in my own experience, is even if you're applying your own health insurance benefits, there may be aspects of your experience, especially in a hospital stay, where you receive care from someone who's not in network. So for example, when I had my appendix removed, the anesthesiologist that I saw was not in network with me, so just the anesthesiologist alone tagged on an extra couple of $1,000s to the charge. So as you can see, these surprise medical bills are terrible. I mean, they can cause people to go bankrupt in an instant. So the No Surprises Act is aimed at mitigating these surprise medical bills and goes into effect January 1st, 2022, as in I'm recording this after it's already gone into effect. But moving on, let's talk about how this impacts your practice. As a general overview, there are two parts to the No Surprises Act. Part 1 applies to hospitals and inpatient care, and so therefore it doesn't usually apply to most people watching this channel, and I'm gonna just kind of skip over that part. Part 2 of the act applies to healthcare providers charging for outpatient services. And yes, That includes us therapists in private practice. Part 2 creates a process for how our clients can anticipate the costs of our services in advance of receiving them, and also has a dispute process for which they can file a claim if they believe that we are not in compliance with the Act. Whether you're working in solo private practice or group private practice, this Part 2 of the No Surprises Act applies to all of us. If you're seeing therapy clients for outpatient services and you're charging them for it, it applies to you. Basically, this act requires us to disclose to our clients how much they can expect our services to cost in advance. Now, I know what you're probably thinking at this point, because I thought it too. You're probably thinking, hey Marie, we're all required to disclose to our clients as soon as is reasonable the cost of our therapy services and whatever other services we are charging our clients for, so I'm already complying with the act. Check the box. And I thought that too, but turns out I was thinking wrong, because we have to now follow a formal process for how we disclose the anticipated costs of our services. I know, it's painful, but here we go. I'm going to walk you through it. So here's how we're expected to implement this in our practice. Whenever a new client contacts us and schedules with us, we are now required to ask them if they plan to apply insurance benefits. This includes in-network insurance benefits, and it also includes out-of-network insurance benefits. That's when you give your clients a super bill receipt and they submit it to their insurance for an out-of-network claim. If your client plans to apply insurance benefits, whether in-network or out-of-network, then for now, you're off the hook. There's nothing else that you need to do. Though more to come on this one, because apparently there's going to be legislation at some point down the road where we're going to have to do something special for clients applying their insurance benefits. Now, my suggestion is, even if you do have a client who says they're going to apply out-of-network benefits, even though we're not required to do any of the following steps that I'm going to go over, I think it's a good idea to do it, because there's no way of guaranteeing that our clients are actually going to submit that out-of-network super bill. Now, once a new client or an existing client tells you that they're going to apply insurance benefits for your services, you need to document that in their medical record so that you're off the hook for having to do the rest of these steps. Now, here's where the fun paper pushing part comes in. For those clients who are either uninsured or for whatever reasons they're planning to pay out of pocket for your services, we are required to then complete something called a good faith estimate. The CMS website has a template available for us to complete that good faith estimate, and my suggestion is, at least for now, we just stick by that template so we know that we're following the rules. As you scroll through the template, you'll see that this template needs to be customized to each individual client, aka it's going to add a lot of admin time to our schedules. And we're also required to include the good faith estimate form in our client's medical records. Now, you don't technically have to follow the CMS's template for the good faith estimate, but there is a really long list of required items that you have to include in your good faith estimate. So rather than going over all of them in this video, I'm just going to suggest that you stick by the template that they provided in order to make sure you've checked the boxes for all the required elements. Once we complete the good faith estimate form, we are required to give this form to our clients. Even if our clients say that they're cool with just receiving it verbally from us, we have to either give them a physical copy or send it to them digitally. And we're also required to give our clients the option of which of those they prefer, whether they want it digitally or a hard copy. Now, it's not required at this time that our clients sign the good faith estimate, but some folks are suggesting that we go ahead and have them sign it and give it back to us. That way we can prove that they have received the good faith estimate. We can just go ahead and put that signed copy in their chart. Now, fortunately, we don't have to create a new good faith estimate for every single therapy session. We can create a recurring good faith estimate for up to 12 months. So if you're doing long-term therapy with somebody, they're coming in weekly and they're planning on coming in for the rest of the year, then you can say, I'm planning on seeing this client for a range of sessions. Maybe it's 40 to 52 sessions over the next 12 months. And given my hourly rate of X dollars, the total that they can anticipate paying for this year is X amount. If we complete the good faith estimate and we wind up charging our clients more than $400 above what we estimated in the good faith estimate, then our clients have the right to file a dispute and effectively not pay in excess of those $400 beyond what we told them in the good faith estimate. Now, given this, I know it might be tempting to sort of just overinflate how much you plan to charge your clients so that, you kind of cover your bottom and they can't say, hey, you charged me more than $400 over what you said. That's why it's called a good faith estimate, because we can't go too far under in our quote, but we can't go too far over either. So what you want to do is if anything changes in the course of treatment, your costs are going to change or you're going to exceed what you estimated in the good faith estimate, you now need to give your clients a new updated good faith estimate. Okay, there are a few more layers I haven't covered yet to what's required of us with these good faith estimates. So let me name some of these additional rules here. One item that is very important to note is there are no deadlines for how much time we have to give our clients a good faith estimate. For clients who schedule with us 10 or more business days before their scheduled appointment, we have up to 3 business days to get that good faith estimate to our clients. If our clients end up scheduling with us 3 to 9 days before their scheduled appointment, then we only have 1 business day to get that good faith estimate to them. And the rule also requires that if anyone requests a good faith estimate, even if they haven't booked with us, we're required to get that estimate to them within 3 business days. The No Surprises Act also requires that we post on our website if we have one, as well as in our office or lobby if we see clients in person, our clients' right to receive the good faith estimate, as well as their right to file a dispute if they want to, and information on how to do that. So that's another piece you don't want to forget. Now you'll notice as you look through the good faith estimate template that we are required to put a diagnosis code for our clients, which presents a little bit of a pickle of a situation because we have to give them the good faith estimate before we've ever met with them. How can we know their diagnosis code? So the expectation is that for the diagnosis code for that first good faith estimate form, we can put something tentative or TBD, give them the good faith estimate, and effectively, once we have the correct finalized diagnosis, we give them an updated good faith estimate form. Once you have that diagnosis in place, even if you are using something like a Z code for the reasons why somebody is coming to see you, you don't need to submit to them a new good faith estimate every time there's an updated diagnosis, unless it impacts the estimated cost of your services, in which case, anytime the estimated cost of your services shift, you need to give an updated good faith estimate form to your clients. So effectively, that means that for most of us, with most of our clients, we're probably going to be giving them at least 2 good faith estimate forms. If anything changes in the course of treatment that changes how much the cost of your services are, then you also need to resubmit an updated good faith estimate. And we can only submit a good faith estimate for recurring services for up to 12 months. So you might also need to do an annual updated good faith estimate. Now, one way to kind of navigate this is just every time you raise your rates, if you do it once a year, to just kind of schedule your updated good faith estimate within that so it's all clumped together. And if you're ever in doubt about whether you're supposed to do an updated good faith estimate or not, might as well give an updated good faith estimate just in case. Put it in their chart, and that way, if somebody somehow files a dispute against you, you have your behind covered, showing like, hey, I already communicated all this information. Now, if you had not heard about any of this before watching this video and you're a therapist in private practice, you might be feeling some feelings right now. I had to process a lot of feelings about this. I'm still going through it. Part of the reason why I don't accept insurance in my practice is because there's so much paperwork that I'm trying to bypass. I don't want to spend all my time doing admin stuff. I just want to see my clients. And if I'm clearly communicating to them how much my counseling services cost before we ever meet, how long they can anticipate coming, there are no surprises. But nonetheless, the rule is here. We're going to need to follow it. I'm kind of hoping that it changes in time, I won't lie, but this is where the rule is right now. We're supposed to comply. And I know there's probably going to be some of you watching who are freaking out thinking, January 1st already happened by the time I'm watching this, and I did not implement this act, which, by the way, we need to do these good faith estimates with our existing clients as well. So if you've already seen anybody in 2022, you're supposed to have given them their good faith estimate already. But that would be just kind of ridiculous. And so my understanding from what I've heard is that it's not like there's folks going around policing, double checking that we're giving our good faith estimates. And as long as we're showing that we're making some sort of effort, moving towards offering these good faith estimates in our practices in some reasonable amount of time, then there's no need to freak out. So now that you've watched this video, now you know, No need to kind of like do an all-nighter getting your good faith estimates set up for your clients tomorrow, for example, but just go ahead and start implementing things. Well, if you had no idea what the No Surprises Act was about or what these good faith estimate forms are that we're supposed to fill out, hopefully this video has helped you. And I'll repeat something I said before, I am no expert and this video is just a bird's eye overview. So if you're wanting to really do a deep dive, learn answers to all of those kind of nitty-gritty questions that inevitably come up, I highly recommend the webinar by Ken Clark because it goes through every single thing you could possibly need to know about the No Surprises Act. So I have a link to that in the description box below. And before we close, I'd like to thank TherapyNotes.com for sponsoring this video. TherapyNotes helps with scheduling, notes, and billing, and they have a HIPAA-secure telehealth platform built in for all of its users. If you'd like to check out TherapyNotes, you can get 2 months to try it for free with no commitment just by clicking the link in the description of this video. Well, thanks to the No Surprises Act, we're hitting the ground running in 2022, keeping us on our toes and running our practices. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know what questions you still have about the No Surprises Act in the comments below, and if things update and change over time, I'll take into account your questions and maybe do an update video on this act down the road. And until next time, from one therapist to another, I wish you well. Surprise! Does that make sense for a thumbnail? Surprise! Oh dear, Marie.